Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here and another chatteroony. Well, I've lost, get ready for this, £4. I was absolutely gobsmacked. Now, yesterday I was just whinging. As you know, I've had a bit on my plate. I did mention it on my other chats and you know. But so I was having a bit of a whinge up like you do, and I said to Gary, do you know what? Should we just do Slimming World? Because I'm fed up with trying to think of new things for dinner, and Gary won't eat the veg. So yesterday I'd done savoury mince, and mince is hamburger for you guys across the pond, which is weird because there's no ham in it. You know, just saying, it's beef burger, if anything. But anyway, that's just beside the point. So that's what I made, just with onions and a little bit of pepper, and there was some, not very many onions, because not really good for you, on low carb. Bear with me a second. Look what I got. Cup of tea. See, I just brought this in. I brought in a can of tropical drink. But that's better. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so I did this mince and it had mushrooms and all that stuff in it. So it was just savoury, you know. And when I had mine, I thought, oh, this is horrible. It's just like, how boring is this sort of thing? And all I'd had for breakfast was tuna. So I feel like, when I say that, it made me think like it's like a cat, isn't it really? Like, yeah, tuna. Anyway, I had tuna with mayo. That was all I had. So Gary had his a little bit later and he went, that was lovely. I thought, really? I thought he was going to hate it. You know, I did. So I thought, you know, he won't like this. So I said to him, you know, should we just do Slimming World? Because I'm fed up with like trying to think of things, and it's not exactly working a treat anyway. I mean, it's pretty slow going. So if I'm going to lose it slow, it might as well be Slimming World and we can have potato, you know. So he was like, oh, maybe, I don't know. And he was kind of like not wanting to do it. And I thought, this is unusual. So I said, oh, you know, we'll think about it some more anyway. So I got the scales this morning and lost £4. So then Gary said, so are we going to do Slimming World? And I went, no, no, it's worked. I think what it was, I just got to a plateau, you know, like you do, and your body hangs on to the water weight and it won't release it. And suddenly it had gone. So all is right with the world again. Well, not all, you know. I've still got my troubles, as you know. They ain't going nowhere. Not going nowhere. Not never, not know how. And if they do, it's, you know, not going to be a pleasant experience for my poor little boy. Anyway, let's see. What was we doing? It was, I know it's, you know, your old when is next. What's this? Oh, remember when, wasn't it? That's right. I've only been doing it forever. I can't remember. No, I did remember. Software wasn't a word. Yeah. Okay. So, remember when having a meaningful relationship meant in getting along well with your cousins? No. Do you know, I've got to say, it just reminds me of the Dingles. Now, for you guys who don't live in the UK, you're not going to have a clue unless you watch Emmerdale what the Dingles are. But they're inbred. Most of them. You know, they're like, marry their cousins. So, yeah, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. But then, you know, my mind can be a bit of a sewer at times. Okay, let's do this. Oh, my God, that's a dark one. But I know who that is. It's Moff Gideon. And he was Gus Fring in Breaking Bad. You know, Gus Fring. He was brilliant. But this is Moff Gideon. I know that. So, yep, good old Gus Fring. I might have to watch that again, you know. It's a really brilliant series. You know, they don't make good series anymore, you know. I did start watching 24. I did. Hang on a minute. That's not for 24. That's from the fact that they don't make good series anymore. Now, I have a little tutorial tomorrow popping up. It's not my circle blanket because I need to sort that out. I need to revisit my notes and be more precise as to where I change stuff. And I'm at a point where I'm looking at it now thinking I've got to frog that back to there and change something. So once I've done that, I'll be fine. But this little wool genie here, swingy, that is the yarn that I use for this little tutorial. Now it's only a little, I don't know if you want to call them tip, trick, hack, whatever, but it's a game changer, seriously, and it's what I do from now on. And I've been using it for a while, and yeah, brilliant. Gonna do that from now on. I should have done it with my shawl, but I didn't. But I'm doing it now. Absolutely fabulous. So that'll come up. There's a right-handed one and a left-handed one. And I just realised, you know, my join that at one point there was only me doing this join. You know, I adapted it from the mattress stitch of knitting. And nobody else had that on there. I had similar ones, but nobody had it. And then there might have been one other person who had a similar one, not the same. And now I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and someone had put this video on showing how that join, and I'm thinking, isn't it funny how you know that nobody did it that way? Nobody did. And now people are starting to do those tutorials and getting hundreds of thousands of views because they've got more subscribers than me, and yet I did it first. It is a bugbear. But, you know, I suppose you could say that this thing that I might be doing tomorrow, someone else has done it before me. So it doesn't matter, does it? You know, it happened with my magic loop, you know, my magic ring. That's going to be, and, you know, the Bella Coco thing where the way I did my ends, like worked my ends in, suddenly she did a video very, very similar to the way I did my ends, and no one had ever done that before. It is funny, isn't it, how this happens to you? But I guess we're all reinventing the wheel somehow. You know, no one really is responsible for a granny square because they were around since Job was a lad and all that stuff. But yeah, it kind of, when I looked at that thing on Facebook, I thought, oh, that is so blatantly my thing. Yeah. But one thing that I did notice, that I didn't do a left-handed version. I didn't do a left-handed version of my scrunchie either, but then I could have done. I just didn't realise that it was going to now be easier than it used to be. And I thought, I haven't got my computer that is set up for that. It was out of action because we were doing all that house, you know, remodelling. And it was kind of just stuck in a corner. And in the end, I took it out into the yarn van so it wouldn't get broken. And I thought, you know what, I might just set it up out here. So I have. It's now on the side, and I could have gone out there and done the left-handed tutorial for it. And it wasn't until I started doing it and I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, I'm sure it's easier than this now before I even upload. And it is. So it used to be very easy, and then they took it off the devices and now they've put it back. So yeah, cool, easy to do it. So there we are. Now, I also decided that next time I upload something, I was going to download it back onto my computer so that I had it physically a copy there. And then I was going to run it through the software that I use to do my thumbnails, and which people are always complimenting me on my thumbnails, but that software enables me to write a website. It also enables me to make a video. And so I could do an introduction. I hate introductions, so I won't do it. I won't put you through that. Kind of hate them. I really do. As soon as they start up, I just want to like, ugh, why'd you bother? You know, it's rubbish. I don't want to listen to your diddly, diddly, diddly music. You know, that's how I feel about it. It's quite, you know. So I just wish people would get over themselves and get rid of their intros. If you want an outro, that's fine. If you want to have some credits. But an intro, get rid of them. They're horrible, everybody. Right, okay. That's just me sounding off about. Anyway, so yeah, I could maybe try and put my video on there, and then I could write on the screen. and put a little note up. So when I used to do my left-handed ones, I used to kind of put it in, and then I used to put my website address on it and everything else. I could do that again. I could do that, but I'm just so eager to get them on that I can't be bothered. You know, just saying. I'm just too eager, just too, you know. Maybe I should. The next time I've got a bit of time on my hands, I could upload something, but put it through that first and see. I mean, I could put like a little animation on it and all sorts of stuff. We'll see. Or maybe I'll play with it, have a little practice first. Cheers, guys and girls. It's one of those words that really is horrible. I don't know why we all say guys when we are referring to each other, because we're not guys. Guys have wibbly wobbly bits that we don't. Just saying. What have I done to this? Oh well. Doesn't matter. I accidentally touched something. So I was putting my tea down. So I washed my hair with that new shampoo. So if you look at this, look at it. It's absolutely, it's conditioner actually. Can you believe that that is conditioned? That is nasty. It really is nasty. That is like gruesome. I hate it. I absolutely, look at that. Look, it's like a brush. It's just, it's horrible. So when I ordered that stuff from UK Lash, I ordered some shampoo, well, conditioner actually. I was going to get shampoo and conditioner, and I thought, no, I've got plenty of shampoo. Let's just do the conditioner, see what it's like. Well, awful is the word. Rubbish. Yeah, not impressed with it in the slightest. It's just doing nothing, is it? But I'm kind of, I've got some, you know, got a diet. So I won't worry about it too much at this precise moment in time. But the last time I washed my hair, it looked a darn sight better than that. And it was better condition. And I didn't use that, that's for sure. What a biggest load of rubbish both those products turned out to be. You know, one's got some dodgy ingredient that, you know, is rubbish for your eyes, and the other one sends your hair looking like a scouring pad, you know. Lovely. I'll buy that again. Not. Luckily it wasn't expensive, but, you know, it wasn't cheap either. Do you know what I mean? But I won't be buying it again. I won't be endorsing it. It's a load of old rubbish. So I'm thinking of selling these in my shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk, because it's invaluable. I tell you what, it's a game changer. Not only is it a game changer, but, you know, my little tutorial tomorrow is a game changer. And what I liked about that was I was sitting here and I thought, I'm just going to do that video. So I got my equipment, set it up, and I moved out my keyboard, and where I used to get really angry doing a tutorial on a side like this, because the yarn that you're working on, it comes off your, you know, crochet and goes down. So it comes off the tabletop, and you can't have the ball of yarn on there. And there's only so much yarn that you can put on the top there. It just comes down onto the floor. Well, I had a little this was my yarn receptacle. So it would, instead of rolling around the floor, it would just be in there, nice and lined, so it didn't ever snag on anything. And that was my little tutorial bucket, if you like, for my yarn. So it used to go down there, but I used to use a little cat. And I've got this little pussycat somewhere. She's up there. Well, she's got a tail that sticks up like that, and I used to loop the yarn around her tail to keep it from coming back at me, even on the table. Now, I don't have to have any of those contraptions because it's just dangling there and it just feeds off really nicely. And I'm like, whoa, this is brilliant for the tutorials. It really is. So I was able to sit here and do that little tutorial, and the yarn was just there. It was so perfect. I can't sing its praises enough. So I've looked into stocking them. I haven't got anywhere yet, but I have actually approached Rico. So that lovely lady from Unravel and Unwind, one of the shops that I did a yarn quest for, gave me the reps number, and I lost it. I couldn't find it. She wrote it on a little scrap of paper, and I just could not find that. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to email her, because on her site there's an email. And I said, oh, remember me? And she said, oh yeah, I remember you, this is him. So she gave me his number again, and I got in touch, and it turns out that I did in fact set up an account with them some time ago. But I got a message back saying that I had to buy pallet loads. And so I never bothered. I thought, oh, you must be joking. So when I started seeing it in shops, thinking, no, they don't buy pallet loads, then the lady very kindly gave me the rep. So whether that was so early on in Rico coming over here that maybe they did only supply great big shops then, I don't know. But I was definitely told you have to buy pallets. So I never did. So now they're setting me up with, well, they're reinstating my account, which doesn't work. So I've not been able to like log in. But I'm going to try maybe getting a little bit of Rico as well. And so yeah, so I'm going to try the Rico, going to try and get those and get some more hand-dyed yarn, because that is gorgeous. I have a little bit here, look. Happy mail. A little bit of happy mail, because this was missing. This was missing from my order, and so they sent it to me. Well, the rest of it is now safely tucked away in a little box in the yarn van. But this one, this is nothing in there. I'll just check in that there wasn't a piece of paper or something that I needed in there. And here it is. So this was missing, and so I've got it. They replaced it, and I'll show it to you. This is called dried chilies, and beautiful. This absolutely gorgeous. Look at that red. I might have to make something with this. Oh, it's so soft. Really is beautiful yarn, really. And it is made by a subsidiary of Nipro. It's Symphony, and they are from India, a little kind of spin-off of Nipro, or they're financed by them, but it's beautiful. It really is gorgeous, completely and utterly gorgeous. So that's our little yarn fix. Beautiful. But I will try and get my hands on the Rico. That is now in my little yarn receptacle that is now no longer needed. I don't know what I'm going to do with that little pot. I might still keep it for, you know, obviously, you know, when I do live streaming, and I did those ones out in the yarn van, and I was doing the blanket. I mean, that is what you had the yarn in that was on the floor. And you can buy spindles for those. You can get replacements. So if you have several projects, then you can just take this one off and put up another one with the other yarn on it. Oh, I've messed it up now. Why isn't it working? Oh, what's going on, man? There you go. I had it in the wrong place. So you just unhook that one. Well, it's a very strong magnet. You just take that one off, and then you put the other one up, and you have all these different ones with different yarns on. Amazing. How the heck I didn't go there before, I have no idea. Why am I always so late? I mean, been crocheting since I was 6 years old. Why am I so late to the game in some things? Don't answer that, because you know, I probably know the answer. Oh, that is yummy. Well, I've been rambling away for quite a long time today, I guess. At least my doing my chats in the late afternoon. Well, it's beautiful sunshine out there today. It keeps raining a little bit, but it's absolutely glorious. Doing my chats as I am now means I don't just tell you how I slept. Remember, it's not the first thing on my mind, because it was a long while ago that I slept. So I went to see my neighbour today. He'd just come out of hospital. He had an infected sort of colitis, an infection in colitis. It wasn't very nice for him. So he came out last week, and I keep meaning to go in, but it's muddy between our houses, so I was kind of waiting for a time when it wasn't raining. And the other day I was going to pop in, but he had a gardener in, and so he was talking to him a lot, and so I thought, I'll wait until he hasn't got company. And I was waiting for the postman today. Gary was doing DIY, he was doing lots of shelving. And so I thought, I'm just going to pop in and see next door. And the postman was really late. And when I got there, he said, oh, the postman's been. And I thought, no, there's no way we could have missed him, because Gary had had the front door open most of the morning. So even if the door was closed, there's both cars in the driveway and I have my door open, so I would have heard him if he'd knocked or rang. I thought, this is ridiculous. I couldn't have missed me. And I thought, oh no, I've got to try and reschedule those. So while I was talking to him and having a cup of tea, the postman turned up. It turned out that he had to rush past my house to do some timed deliveries. You know, like if you pay for a special delivery and it says, oh, it's got to be there by 1 o'clock the next day. So he had to rush off and do those and then come back to me. So thank goodness I didn't see him and think he's not coming back and go out, because Gary did want to go out and get some brackets for his shelves. So what he's done, in the bedroom, he's made 2 big shelves for me, and I've got another. I'm going to have them L-shaped, so he's got to do a little one at the end. So we've got to go and get ornamental brackets for that, because they've got to match mine that I chose. So and he did some in the other room where he's got lots and lots of Funko Pops and stuff like that, and loads of DVDs, loads of games, loads of books. So he was doing that, and then he had a little shelf unit left over. It's very small, and he said, do I want it? And I thought it'd go perfectly over there. When I get that chest of drawers, it'll go above it, but I've got to paint it before it goes up. So he bought white shelving, and so he's made 3 big shelving units for the conservatory, and then we've got to do another one. Got to get a little bit more of the white shelving. And so all the way along, as you come in the front door, where we did all that red wood staining, it's now got all white shelves along it. We've got to do the other wall, which will be white, so it will all tie in quite nicely. So he's been doing that all morning. And yeah, so I went and had a cup of tea with Colin just to see how he was. And yeah, so but thankfully I didn't miss the postman. That's the most important thing, because it's a pain to reschedule. It's all right, actually, if they're all England. Sorry, if they're all Britain. It's even okay if it's like Scotland and Wales. Although they're another country, it's not another country in terms of the post office. Only if it was Southern Ireland, then it's abroad, and then it becomes a nightmare, and you have to ring them up and get them to do it, to reschedule it. And ringing their number is never nice. It's always a long queue. So I keep feeling like there's something I was going to tell you and I've forgotten it. It's really lovely out there. Went outside, we planted a couple of trees. I bought them ages ago. 1 pear and 1 apple. And they were just outside. But it's where the weather's been such awful kind of pants weather, they were just round the side of the decking. So now they're actually planted in. Gary wanted them in the grass, and I said, I don't think you realise what a nightmare that is when you plant the tree in the grass. You've got to mow around those, and plus you're going to create shadow. So I think the only shadow that will fall will be on the Yarnavan will be on the Yarnavan. And I'm hoping that they don't bush out so far that, it becomes a nightmare for the path. We can always trim them back. But yeah, we've got 2, and he wants to get another one. And I said, well, I'd quite like it to be a Victoria plum then if we get another tree, because I did have Victoria plum tree in my other house and they are gorgeous. So hopefully we'll get that. Cherries are nice. Cherry trees are nice, but birds get the cherries. They get the plums too, but maybe I'll put a net over them or something. Anyway, I've babbled on long enough, haven't I, for one day? Some days I've got very little to babble on about, but today it's like I've got verbal diarrhea, isn't it? I just can't shut up. So I'm going to get off and upload this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye for now, everyone.